Hello, everybody. I'm Angelo. Been homeless for 3 months in Northern Virginia. I'll wait till some people get here, but it's actually kind of warm out for once. I was looking up housing today. I was thinking, what if I just had a place to live? Would it really be that bad to spend the money to have a place to sleep, have a place where I can keep my laptop, wake up, work on it? Because being homeless, it's great in a lot of ways. Like, learning resilience, enjoying being out, being different places, but there's also a lot of times, like lately, where I'm just hating it, hating every second of it. Not that I would have, but it's not that I would be hating living in a place any less. So I looked up some places to live, looking for some good light right now. Here we go. And I'm wondering, should I just try and find a place to live in Annandale? Because that's the only place around here I can afford. DC, kinda, it seems like there might be a tiny amount of places I could afford rooms, but even then, they'd still be kind of pricey. And then commuting is awful from DC to Virginia. There's a few bridges you have to get across. You can imagine the traffic is terrible. You can imagine there's been disasters on bridges lately where they've been blocked, or they need construction, or the high winds, or whatever the case. And Annandale's really the only place around here that I can afford, and that's also within a reasonable distance. I looked up places in Woodbridge, damn expensive there. Even in Woodbridge, where I was yesterday. It's warmer here. It's like, I don't know, in the 50s right now, something like that, around 50 degrees. So it's actually been pretty comfortable today. No idea with my schedule. I got up at a decent hour, got to the gym by like 1:15, which is, for me, it's like kind of early after working. And I started working out, then I had to go to the bathroom for a while. That took like, shit, I don't know, 30 minutes or something, go to the bathroom. And then I worked out really hard and been trying to catch up on things. I don't even know what I've been doing half the afternoon. Well, I ate, I drove around a little bit, and got here, and I was trying to get to my mom's house. My mom is not home, so I want to get the laptop out. But anyways, I want to get the laptop out. Also, there's a job I want to apply to. Video job. Might be pretty good for me. I don't know what the catch is, because based on the description, it seems like I'm pretty qualified for this job, and it pays relatively well. It would be by far the highest salary I've ever had. But I don't know what else they're probably looking for that they're not saying, because it just seems like too good to be true. And I know the place. It's not like it's just a scam or anything. Like, I know the place. I've known people there. So I want to see what that's like. Got the McDonald's drive-thru behind me. Click the like button, everybody. That helps get this video to the top of YouTube. I've been really, really miserable at my job lately. Just hate being there. It makes me just not want to talk to anybody, even when people are nice to me. Like, I don't even want to, I'm like, what's the point? This is all so pointless. And being in my job, it makes those feelings very vivid. I work nights as a bouncer, and I hate it. Been doing it for 5 years. I just hate the stagnation, standing around, doing nothing. I can't interact with people the way I'd like. I can't talk about the things I would like to talk about. I can't be myself. I'm in an environment I don't care about. Ultimately, I know, like, no matter how long I'm exposed to the people I'm around, they will always be strangers to me, and I will always be strangers to them. I will never be, like, familiar with them, because this is just not the world I'm a part of. Hey, Colors Suck. Or is it Colors OC? So I want to apply to this job. I can't really apply on my phone. It's too difficult. There's some other stuff I want to apply for on my phone, or I want to apply for, but I can't on my phone. I don't know what it is. The browser I use is glitching out, or what. So, that reminds me. I wanted to call today because I couldn't log into this thing to apply, to sign up for something around here. But that's Not an emergency. Can't let it overwhelm me. I'll try and get my laptop out tonight whenever my mom gets home, but I'm not going to have much time to be on the computer. I'll have to go to McDonald's. The McDonald's, I can find one with outlets that is open to midnight. So that's not going to be a lot of time. And I have to edit, or I want to edit one of her videos. Oh. Really, really frustrating. But I got to keep moving forward. Working the Super Bowl last night. In a way, it was like the nicest night of work that I've had in a long time because I don't like music playing at work. I like it when it's quiet. And it was real nice to have the Super Bowl going and just nothing happening. But just really fed up with that job. Got to find something else. Got to. So I'm going to apply to this thing one way or another. I'm going to try and apply tonight if my mom gets home in time and I can get the laptop. Because again, I can't really apply on my my phone. Huh, thanks, Color Sock. Thanks for how to say your name. Color Sock, does it matter? Or Colors OC? I kind of like Color Sock. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I just haven't been liking my job, and so here's the deal. Been thinking about moving somewhere. Color Sock, okay. Yeah, it's a nice light. Been thinking about moving to Annandale. I hate living there. I absolutely hated every second. That was not a joke. That was not me being funny, like, oh, I hated whatever, my boss somewhere, my boss would eat cookies around me, whatever it is, these stupid complaints people have. I truly, truly hated every second I lived in Annandale. There was never a time where I came to enjoy it or got used to it or relaxed. I lived there for 2.5 years. The traffic is god-awful. The traffic patterns are horrible. It's not easy to walk around as a pedestrian. People look miserable there, and they have good reason to, because there's nothing to do there. There's nothing to be there. The places around there are fucking sad and miserable. You move there basically because you have to, or if you can afford a nice home there, maybe it's $10,000 cheaper than the $750,000 homes a few miles away. I don't know. I don't understand why anybody lives there unless they're just something is wrong with them. And I understand that because that's why I lived there. Well, yeah, okay, so that's the thing I was thinking about, Color Sock. I'm addressing your question. Because I was thinking about it. I found some places like $400 in Annandale, then around $450. I'm like, that's relatively speaking, that's pretty affordable for me. I know I could afford it. It's going to bring other challenges too, like, I'll have a shared bathroom. Okay, that won't necessarily be a big deal because, I'll just ask beforehand. I'll say, hey, who am I sharing the bathroom with? Can I meet everybody here? Can I look? I'm just letting you know I'm a very clean person. Bathroom's always clean after I use it. If I use the kitchen, it's always clean after I use it. And I know a shared space, it may mean there's not space for me to cook. So at least I'm used to the idea that I may just sleep. Here's what I'm getting at. Even if I'm living in a room, I may still sleep in my car sometimes. If I want to just sleep somewhere closer to my job or closer to somewhere else, or if I just don't feel like being in the house. Because at least now I know I'm capable of that. I can just pack up and sleep in my car and eat in my car and have food stored in it. So why would I then spend money if I'm in a place where it may be crowded, may not have room to cook, may not like the conditions I'm in, and then on top of that, I'd like to be out anyways most of the time because I'm already like, I'm at least glad I can be out and, not have to see the same environment all the time. I'm in a nicer place. I'm in Fairfax right now, so it's like a lot nicer than Woodbridge where I was last night. Fairfax is a rich area. I could never afford to live here, but I can afford to come by. And the question is then, well, if I'm going to plan on probably like not eating much at home, not being there much, if I have problems with my roommates, which again, like I would, try and screen for that, ask about first. But, and there's not many offerings too, like not many places. I found like 4 places basically that were like $400 some up to like 500, and that will still be $4,800 a year minimum just for living there. The question is, why? How badly do I want to lose $4,800 a month? Sorry, I disconnected for a second. Okay, I'm back. So that's the dilemma I'm looking at, is like spending thousands of dollars a year, working a job I hate, and I do want to apply to this other job, and potentially like, hating it anyways, because I'm glad I can be out. I'm glad I'm finding different stuff. The bad thing is, if I want to work on a video at like, whenever, 4 or 5 in the morning, I can't edit it right now. I can't edit videos much because not many places are open that time that have electrical outlets. Who knows? Maybe tonight I'll find a 24-hour McDonald's so I can just stay there for a while. But it has to have an outlet. See, I know of one 24-hour McDonald's that's god awful, and they don't have outlets in there. So what I was getting at, Color Sock, is yes. So right now I am starting to pay down my credit card, and there's a part of me that's like, I can't give up now. I can't give up on trying to save money and working towards filmmaking now, and whatever this is going to lead to. And it's definitely helping my videos and making them more interesting, but there's also an aspect of it that's just really difficult. And sometimes like my mood is really good, and then I don't know what it is. Sometimes at my job, that's how you're in the wrong environment. I hate my job, and it's not the work itself. It's some of the easiest work I've ever had. It's just it's not the environment for me. I don't like that kind of environment. Cobra Kai, yes, thank you. I did see your post. I appreciate that. Although when you comment on posts and somebody replies or I reply, it doesn't give you notifications. So I did reply to one of your comments because you posted about a room in Arlington, and I already know there's a good chance any room in Arlington that's cheap, as you said, like $450. And Cobra Kai was being really nice, everybody. Just so you know, he was posting, or I don't know if you're a man or woman, but Cobra Kai was posting all kinds of room listings around me that are in the $400 to $500 range. The thing is, anywhere that cheap in Arlington, I've had experience with it. It's a scam, more than likely. You have to go to a website and register at the web, and I don't know what beyond that. I will never find out because I'm not registering at any website to try and get a place. I want an email or a phone number, and I hate being on the phone anyways, but willing to consider it. But that's the question, is like, I was like, how can I give up now? 3 months in, I've got I just made a payment on my credit card, so a little over $1,000 paid off of my credit card. So, and it would have gone by quicker, except that first month I really screwed up by eating out every day. Even if I'm spending $15 or $20 a day, which I spent $20 today because I got a haircut already, I'm still way ahead of the curve for saving money. Okay, thanks, Cobra Kai. First of all, Fairfax, if there are affordable places in Fairfax or Woodbridge, They weren't listed on Craigslist. I'm not interested in doing a bunch of goddamn registrations on websites and like, you know, applications. Like, I want to talk to a human being. I want to be fucking dealt with with dignity. I am not going through a long process to apply somewhere that it's already telling me, hey, they hold all the power. So fuck that. I don't know what, and also Fairfax is getting further away from where I need to be. I work further east, so Fairfax is out further west. Fairfax is also very, like heavily, it's got very heavy traffic. I'm in Fairfax now. Very heavy traffic. It's got, well, and it's also just generally very expensive to live in. So, I don't know how many places. PG County, yeah, PG County, where is that? In Maryland? That's also a little further away. Also, I don't know the neighborhoods as well there. Like, I don't know necessarily like where it's safe to be, where not. I don't know. You know, I know it's probably like got an overly negative reputation, but I also want, you know, to at least know an area before I go there. Cobra Kai, my email is flyingovertroutam@gmail.com. Just an easy way to remember it, just go to my About page on YouTube. Like, go to my channel page, my About page, and I have my email listed there. And, excuse me. And you email me listings there. I appreciate it. I don't know if I'm really interested in finding anywhere, though. First thing I'm interested in doing, making videos, getting a different job. I've got to quit my goddamn job. I'm pretty sure I'm willing to live with $10 an hour at this point, even though that is so low. If it means being in an environment I like more. And the $10 job I'm thinking of is at Wolf Trap. So that's further out west in Vienna, further out west in Fairfax. And I would be selling tickets there, basically. But that seems a hell of a, and in a theater, which is, you know, something I love. So at least I'd be in an environment I like with people who are interested in something I'm interested in. Not that it means I want to talk to them all or anything. You know, there are lots of movie fans that are just difficult to be around and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, I'm thinking, like, definitely thinking of the only, like, either a job like that or like this other job I'm looking at, this video job. I wouldn't be shooting videos, but I would be working with people shooting videos. I would be some kind of like coordinator or something. I don't know exactly if I'm qualified for it. They didn't mention a lot in the way of prerequisites or of, you know, qualifications that you need. So I don't know if that means like, hey, I'm pretty well qualified, or I could learn the job pretty quickly. Also, I haven't been shaving. I think my rash is going down, so I've been putting the foot fungus cream on my face and soaking my razor in rubbing alcohol, even though I didn't shave. Make sure my razor's sterilized. I think it's the rash is from having my sleeping bag like this, like pressed up against my face, covered against it, and that must like not give room to breathe and like germs grow or something. So it's really annoying dealing with a rash coming up again. It's like, shit, man, I don't want to deal with this again. I don't want to. I'm going back to my doctor Thursday because he wants to follow up and see if the rash has gone away. I don't want to spend any more money on medicine again. I spent like $45 on the appointment, $50 on this medicated hydrocortisone cream that was like 2 ounces of cream in there, and then $15 on antibiotics, which has been messing up my stomach. And so I had to like miss a workout on Friday, and today I had to like delay it by like 30 minutes because of that. So the dilemma is now, even if I move to a place as cheap as Annandale, and I really hate the idea of moving there. I hate the area. I know I'd be compromising so much because I wouldn't be able to really enjoy much about what where I'm living, while still think about it. I would still be paying for a gym membership, so I would I wouldn't just quit the gym membership. I'd still like going. So I'm still like, I still would be going out a lot, doing a lot of things out. Definitely, I gained, good experience doing this, being homeless. And if I was living there, what am I really getting out of it other than a place to sleep and a place basically for my laptop? Color Sock, you're saying don't do it. I'm not even worried about the weather. Really? I like the weather better when it's cold because my food lasts more. I don't even think I can eat the chicken in my car. I had sliced chicken meat for sandwiches in my trunk. Today it got all warm. I'm like, I don't know if it's safe to eat it. It probably is because it didn't exactly get that warm. But and also it's hard to sleep when it gets warm. At least I was able to roll down my window a little today when it started getting warm and just lie there for a while. But it's hard when the sun warms up my car and then I just sweat like a maniac and I can't sleep. I feel terrible. And then I know I'm not going to get a chance to nap the rest of the day. Although yesterday I did nap in my car a little bit. I didn't totally fall asleep. I was so tired. I just pulled over to the side of the road after I did that live stream and just put my jacket over me and basically almost slept for like 30 minutes. I didn't quite fall asleep, I think, but it was a good rest. But a big part of me thinks I can't give up now. What if I just keep pushing through another 3 months? I could potentially have another, well, let's say roughly $2,000 paid off on my credit card. If I just keep pushing through. I don't know about this job situation. I want to quit so badly. I don't know what it is about me. I just get a tolerance for, like, I know people who, deal with the same crappy situations, and not that I'm abused at my job, but like abusive situations, and they just, put up with it. Somehow, like, they tolerate it. I'm not trying to blame them. I was in abusive situations too. I was with a woman who was abusive, and I put up with it and put up with it until I wasn't willing to put up with it anymore. And she faked her own death. And I was like, wow, I can't be with this woman. Oh yeah, and click the like button, everybody. That helps get these videos to the top of YouTube. This is important stuff. I need YouTube commenters and YouTube viewers to help me collaborate on. But I can't, just after I get it to a certain point, it's like I hate myself so much, I cannot tolerate the conditions I'm in. That was like the house in Annandale. It's why I made the video about my house. I was like, if my landlord finds it, so be it. And she did find it like a month later. Same thing with my job now. It's like almost getting to the point where it's like I can't bring myself to go another day there. But that's going to mean serious trouble for me if I don't have money coming in. So that happened at the movie theater I worked at too. Just one day I was walking to work. I was so miserable there. I was waking up literally like towards the end of my job working at a movie theater. I was usher there first, then I worked concession, then I was a manager mostly of the concession stand. I did some projection towards the end of it. I would literally wake up. I was 19? No, 20. Yeah, I was 20. And just see, like open my eyes and I would see blackness because like I thought the world was ending. I was so miserable working there, and it was just a combination of, this lack of experience, and customers were abusive, and I had no ability to take care of myself. And so I was just walking to work, and all of a sudden I got happy because I'm like, hey, I don't have to do this anymore. I can just tell my boss I quit. Yeah, I've definitely thought about getting a cheap van, and that would be nice because I'm really sick of the mess in my car and how crowded it is. But that's not really an option financially. If I get a van, it's going to cost quite a bit, and I know it's going to cost to maintain it, and it's going to cost money for gas. So that's going to be, a tough thing. And around here, it helps to have a small car because parking can be a difficult thing, especially you get into areas where it's all just like street parking and garages, where it's very crowded, as you can imagine. A ton of traffic around the DC area. Still waiting to hear from my mom tonight because she's out somewhere. And if she gets home soon enough, I can go there, get my laptop out, apply to this job I want, hopefully sign up for some other stuff that I want to do, and then edit a video. At least one video. I have one video I haven't edited for months now. I shot with my mom outtakes from her video about why Dodsworth is a great movie. And I haven't edited the outtakes because there's so much. We did like 40 takes of it. So I want to edit that at some point. I just barely get time. I don't know what I'm going to do. Everything gets so backed up so late. And I wake up so late. And it's hard to think clearly because it really feels like a knife in me, this job I have. Just, the lost potential, lost opportunity. It's like I feel like an alien there. Well, Annandale, I've paid off about $1,000 on my credit card. Now that goes back up all the time, but it's trending downward. That's good. The balance on it. So that's not nearly enough. Like that is not much money at all. And at this rate, I'm starting to, get better at it now. Before, like, part of the reason I'm so behind, the first month I was homeless, I was eating out all the time, spending like upwards of $50 a day and not realizing it. So I don't have a specific goal for my finances. What I'd like is to get another job and feel better. Something smells like, I don't know, cologne or something. 17 people. Click the like button, everybody. Help get this promoted on YouTube. At this point, I think I'd even be willing to take a job that pays less. If I could just feel better at it, interact with people more, Nobody knows who I am for the most part at my job, and I don't like being like that, I like to be the leader where I am. I can't let this, stop me. I got to keep moving forward, but if you don't know, I'm a bouncer, so I work in a bar, I check IDs, make sure people don't fight. Most of the time, it's just checking IDs, just making sure people don't get too drunk, making sure they don't fall over or anything. If they break glass, which happens somewhat regularly, people knocking over beer glasses or wine glasses, whatever, just sweeping that up. I don't even enjoy nice dinners. That's the thing. I can't treat myself. There's nothing I enjoy about it. I don't get much pleasure out of food. I went to a buffet yesterday, and I didn't even enjoy it. And now today I'm not eating much because I ate too much at the buffet, even though I ate fairly healthy there. But I just don't really have any interest in eating nice food. Doesn't matter to me. I've never been like excited about food. I've always been, I almost enjoy just like turning down food because I don't care. Like it just means nothing to me. Yeah, I hope I didn't get a job that isn't graveyard shift. And I guess kind of the irony of that is if I did get a job like selling tickets at Wolf Trap, so that, it's not terribly hard to get. And a kind of interesting thing about it, it would be seasonal. It will only be for like 8 months. So then I'd have to find something else. And, I'd view that as a challenge. I'm trying to open this water bottle. It's huge. But that job, it would be working, nights, evenings. But this other job I'm looking at that pays pretty well and that seems like I'm qualified for. I know the place. I know people who have been there. They produce videos. Seems like I have a lot of what they need too, and I speak Spanish, and they want a Spanish speaker. Well, I'm not fluent in it, but I understand surprisingly a lot of words in Spanish now. I'm even amazed when I hear, I was getting a haircut today, you can't even see it, who cares? But I got a haircut, and the barber was talking to somebody else in Spanish. I understood almost every word. Now here's the thing, I didn't understand the meaning of the whole conversation. Each word I understood individually. It's like the whole thing, it's still hard for me to put together. I'm waiting for my mom to call me. I don't know when, she's out, she's busy with something. If I can get the laptop, it'd be great. It's already getting so late though. And I know it's going to take a while to do everything. I don't know. At least it's kind of nice out. Anyone else work jobs they hate? I can't even think clearly. It's not just a job, it's just... being stuck to going to it, been doing it so long. You hate your job, Color Sock? What do you do? You work at Amazon? Do you work in the warehouse there? On the topic of the video, again, thinking about moving into Annandale, I don't know, there's part of me that wants to, but I think I'd hate it even more than being homeless. There are times when I really enjoy being homeless, and I'm always kind of grateful for it even now, just because I don't want to be stuck in a home. And if I'm paying money for a home, it's like, well, why compound that by spending even more money being out, trying to escape somewhere? At least now I'm out, like that's the only place I have to be. You do work in the warehouse. Oh, sorry to hear that. I really wish they'd treat you guys better. I heard there's some senator in New York who just got put on some state board that where he may have the power to stop Amazon from coming to New York. Which, by the way, how backwards are these deals that are made that they can be planned in secret, and billions of dollars is getting ready to be spent, and then one person who, if he doesn't back down, let's see if he doesn't have a change of heart where he's like, well, I was against this deal, I was a skeptic, but I toured and I saw the families of the people who are going to work here, and they reminded me of my own children, and I thought, I can't say no to this. Yes, we have to worry about Amazon treating their employees right, but let's do it sensibly. Let's make sure we can oversee them in our neighborhood, rather than having them go somewhere, just say, oh, I had a change of heart. But how screwed up is it that one person can stop a deal like that was already done in secret, and there's no consistency about how these are done. It's a total rip-off for most New Yorkers, because they have the one in New York that's going to be installed, and the one here in Arlington, the headquarters, that's going to be built. And it's going to drive up our rents, it already is, and drive up homelessness around here. Thanks, Anthony. How do you donate? Yeah, I am homeless. I've been homeless for 3 months now. Look up in the description. You can see I have a Streamlabs you can donate that goes directly to me, or you can do Patreon. Patreon is all screwed up. They sent all their users emails today and yesterday saying, we're sorry, our payments haven't gone out properly, they're going to take a few days. Some people have we accidentally deleted patrons off the your like supporters, so remind people so they redonate again. Anyways, so I'd recommend Streamlabs if you want, or the super chat, although YouTube takes a big cut of that, so you can do it like below if you have a credit card link to YouTube. But Streamlabs may be your best bet, and again, that and Patreon is in the description. So yeah, I've been homeless for 3 months. It's been a lot of ups and downs. Lately, I've been hating it. I don't mean hating it necessarily in the sense that, well, look, I hate my job. That's a big thing. I hated living where I was. I lived in a nice place in Arlington, but I hated it. I hated spending the money there. I hated knowing I can't really afford to go out anywhere. So I was basically homebound for 2 years while I was trying to make more money by, for a while I was doing some videography, quit doing that, tried some other things. I tried selling insurance, and then dedicating my time to YouTube and screenwriting as well. And so basically homebound, not having much connection with other people, not having the ability to do that because I'm so piss poor. I was spending more money than I was making every month, and ended up maxing out my credit card several times and just barely scraping by. And I realized I have to do this. I have to either sleep on people's couches and go homeless. Well, I ended up going homeless. There are times when it's great, like I really like the freedom of it. Even now I'm grateful for it, but and it's better than really being stuck in a home that I hate. At least now I'm doing something. It makes the videos better, because I would hate to be paying rent somewhere and knowing, well, why should I even bother driving somewhere? I'm going to spend money on gas. What's the point? I'm tied down to this home. But as it is now, I hate my job. I've been a bouncer for 5 years. I'm not the kind of person that should be a bouncer, really. I took the job because I thought it'd be easy, thought it would be fun. It's been both, and it is easy. Vast majority of the time. Once in a while it's pretty dangerous, or it can be very dangerous. Had a guy pull out a gun once, had another guy with a gun on him, had a guy pull out a taser on another guy, didn't fire it. He was a drunk off-duty cop. Mostly, it's just standing around. But I hate it for that. It's just standing around. I can't be myself. I never tell people. Somehow coworkers have found my videos, so separately too. Like there was a time when they found out, because I guess one person must have found out and told everybody, and since then, somebody else found out independently. But I can't stand just standing there, doing nothing, not being myself, just being invisible. And I really want to get something else, so I'm going to apply to this job. I have no idea if they'll consider me for it. It looks like the job's been listed for like 30 days. The best thing I have going for me, I've worked in a place that was similar to it before, and very similar to it, but that was a long time ago. So things have changed. Technology, when I was working there, they had beta tapes and beta decks. Now everything's digital. I'm familiar enough with all that, but they want someone who knows Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro. I don't regularly edit on those. I have used both. They're easy enough to learn. And the other thing is they want somebody who speaks Spanish. My Spanish is fairly good, and it's getting better every day. So, and the job has not been filled for 30 days, over 30 days. So that means they really need somebody. So who knows? Maybe they'll take a chance on me working there. And if I got a job there, I truly despise how much rent would cost here, but I could probably afford to rent my own apartment, a cheap apartment. It would get more expensive every year. It would be pretty difficult, but at least I could afford something. I don't know if I should get an apartment. I don't know what I should do. I don't know if I should just stay homeless for a while. The car don't have their lights on, and those fucking headlights, I almost wanted to walk over and use my rubbing compound on it, because they are so fogged up. It's like a dirty fish tank. Yeah, now the lights are on, but they're awful. Oh my goodness, they barely illuminate anything. I wanted to walk over with my rubbing compound, just clean it. So like, please let me do you the favor. Let me clean this for you. 25 people in here. Cool. Click the like button, everybody. Anyone here from Annandale? Let's get this video shared in Annandale. By the way, I'm thinking about doing a call-in show, and of course I didn't have time yet to set up another phone line and get Skype on it. But if I get a call-in show, I want celebrities calling in. But if anyone, somehow try and get this video to someone in Annandale. Post it on Twitter with the hashtag Annandale. Say, hey, this guy's thinking about moving into Annandale. I used to live there. I lived there for 2.5 years. I truly hated every second of it. That is not a joke. It's not to be funny, like, oh, I hate whatever the hell people say. I hate how my wife does this. I hate how my husband does this. I hate when I come in and the floor mats are dirty. Whatever it is. I truly was miserable there. I was so depressed. I was working a lot, trying to get by, struggling to have some kind of success. Finally did. Watching from British Columbia, Canada. Hello, Starla. And I moved to Arlington, and I was living beyond my means there. And I started really hating it. And so that's why I became homeless. And also, both I hated it and I couldn't afford it. So now, you know, and I would like to move out of the area and all that, but there is an aspect of me that thinks, stay around here for a little while, because there's something more still to explore with videos with my mom and dad, and make videos with them. And I do have some ideas for that, and excuse me, I think it's worth probably at least trying to stay here, till the summer, and seeing if I can successfully make some videos with them, get more viewers. So I don't think I can bring myself to move into Annandale. I was seriously thinking about replying to an ad, a few ads there. I'm like, even $400, that was the cheapest room I could find. $400 a month. That's, $4,800 a year. $4,800 por año. That is so much money that if I'm still struggling to, like, you know, make food in the house because there's other people, if I have to share a bathroom that I won't necessarily like doing, if I don't, and I'm gonna hate the neighborhood, move to Canada. Yeah, right. I think isn't Canada like extremely expensive to live in from many of the areas there? I've heard about that. I know Canada has rural and, you know, lower income areas as well, but it seems extremely expensive. Also, it's extremely difficult to immigrate there. I wouldn't really try and do that. What the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, $4,800 a year for all the challenges of living in a home that I wouldn't like, and a neighborhood I would despise. Because the houses I was looking at, all the cheap homes in Annandale are in the neighborhood I used to live in. So it would not be far. It would basically be down the road from that. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I would still, yeah, Canada's not cheap. But I would still, also, you all drink milk out of a bag. What the hell, man? Stop trying to you don't mess with something that works. Milk comes in like a jug or a carton, but really a jug, mostly around here. Stick with what works. Don't get all creative and fancy. So I would be living in a neighborhood I hate, spending about $5,000 a year. Actually, more than that in most of the places, because only one place is $400 a year, just to avoid some inconvenience, some, you know, just material problems of, you know, having a place to sleep, and also, really just the big thing for me is just having a laptop, having my laptop around and being able to use it. As it is, I can't keep my laptop in my car because it's going to get damaged from the cold. So I need to leave it at my parents' house. Get rid of the bag. and pick it up when I can't. But now my mom's out, so I can't pick it up right now. I've been waiting half the day. Or waiting like 2 hours. I already spent half the day sleeping. So all I can conclude is, and here's the thing, I just throw myself into these situations where I don't think ahead of how is it going to work out, what's the timing going to be, and I just see whichever one, because I hate like something, it feels so burdensome to do, to like plot out and chart out like, okay, if I do this schedule's going to work out. I just apply to stuff and try and make stuff happen, and whatever works, that's where I end up going. And so obviously that got me homeless. But I'm also thinking, what the hell was I saying? Now it seems like my plan is just apply to 1 or 2 jobs at least to start. I'm going to apply to this other thing, this video production thing that would get me some access to more facilities, more equipment. Doesn't cost much. And that's a reason why I want to stay around here, is I can shoot stuff with my mom, places like that, and who knows what else I could do. Oh, you no longer drink milk out of a bag? And I would maybe be able to, get more income on YouTube. I'm watching a plane fly by. And other than that, I just got to think about a different job, no matter what it is. Yeah, I'm an improviser. I don't think ahead. I don't plan. That's a good and bad thing, because, like, for instance, your avatar in that looks like Socrates, but I was going to say it like Bill and Ted, like Socrates. I wasn't thinking ahead when the good thing, that's, important thing for filmmaking and videos. You got to have ideas come to you, and you got to be open to them. You can't think, no, we got to stick to the plan. You got to be open to that. And so when I made the video about how much I hated my neighborhood, it was already after a series of just fuck it, just find a place to live. And then I made the video about my house, where I'm like, I want to humiliate, basically, well, I wasn't thinking like necessarily humiliate my landlord, but I want like this to be a reason for me to move out. This is the motivation. I want to move out and make this video saying it, like make it real. It ended up humiliating my landlord, which she absolutely deserved. And it's like going the messed up route ended up being very, very, good for me. Brought me some success, a lot of success and validation in many ways. So it's just, when you do that, you got to be ready for all the wrong turns and bumps along the way. I'm amazed when like people take jobs and it's like, I don't even understand what the job descriptions are. Like team leader, you're managing a corporate enterprise and you're doing compliance with regulations. And I'm like, wait, they have the regulations and they don't just comply? You need to make sure, like they need somebody else to make sure. Well, how do you make them comply if they don't comply already? Like, what do you do? Someone tried explaining that to me once. I was like, I almost wanted to tell them, look, you have to fucking explain it for a person of average intelligence to understand. But I was just like, I still don't really understand anything they said. I was talking to this one woman, she was telling me about her job, and like, it was, again, like that, like team leader and whatever, I don't know. I swear, it's like my brain power cuts in half when people start describing jobs like that. And I'm like, it's like Beavis and Butthead. When you watch them try and think, Beavis and Butthead, by the way, it gets better with time. That show, how good it is, how hilarious it is. You went dumpster diving, got like 10 jars of peanut butter. That's awesome. But like, when Beavis and Butthead think, and you'd hear that like those weird distressed sounds, that's like what's going on in my head when people tell me jobs like that. I'm like, corporate, like only certain words pop out in my head. I'm like, Okay, Angelo, think. Like, bring these words to English corporate, team, team leader, resources, compliance. And it was funny. I told her, I was like, man, like, well, must be smart because I can't do a job like that. She's like, yeah, you could. I was like laughing. I was like, no, I couldn't. Trust me. Like, that's nice of you, but I cannot ever do a job like that. But, school was never for me. And I never wanted to have a career plotted out. And the few times I thought I did, I ended up not wanting it. When I worked at a bank, I thought for sure, like, I would just work my way up the bank because I didn't know what else I would do with my life at that point. I had just gotten out of, first of all, an abusive relationship. This is another one like 10 years ago. And also, I was coming out of a year of being like sick mentally and hallucinating and delusional. Word processor needs it. I'm like, what? Hold on. Wait, word. Hold on. Wait, word process. The processor of words. Wait, so processing words. Wait, the process of word. Wait, needs. Wait, update. So yeah, so stuff like that. I'm like, it's like Beavis and Butthead, like see the little like sparks flying around their head, like and then, or like the light bulb burning out, like. But yeah, school was never for me. College, I was basically getting by, not really trying because they just fucking babied us for the most part. I failed several classes. So it's not that I was all just getting by, but it was easier than high school for the most part. After I decided to quit all the hard classes, I was in computer science at first. I fucking failed so badly. I was like, this isn't gonna work. Thanks, Anudum. Yeah, I could have been part of the Great Recession, but then I said no to banking. Yeah, I left so I could wash cars at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And, I don't know what the, like, how the fuck to do those jobs, like, where you gotta do stuff that's, like, compliant and conforms to Excel and all that stuff. I can use Microsoft Excel, but it's just... hey, Lynx. Thanks for joining. You know what? I'm going to get in my car. It is nice out, but I'm going to start charging my phone. Still waiting on my mom to call me, man. And here's the really frustrating thing about that is I want to get to her house. I want to get my laptop because I want to edit stuff. I'm not going to have much more time before McDonald's closes. So I may not get much done at all tonight with the laptop. It's not 100% a problem for me in that I could go to the gym and plug it in there. I could, what else? I could go far away to a 24-hour McDonald's, assuming if they have power outlets. But the problem is, I'm going to be up so late, and I want to get stuff done early because I got stuff to do tomorrow. It's another day of trying to get stuff done, and trying to film with my mom tomorrow as well. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow exactly. Yeah, exactly. When they get high and the stars come on, and yeah, Beavis would turn into Cornholio when he would drink lots of sugar. And I said it like the totally gringo pronunciation. Like, I love the episode Vaya Cornholio, where Beavis gets deported to Mexico. It was so there. Like, I can appreciate it so much more as an adult. When I saw that as a kid, it was sad to me. Now I appreciate it more because it's Mike Judge understood so much about American culture, the culture in Texas, the way the immigration officer treats Beavis, the way these out-of-touch white guys are dealing with him, and the way the and I didn't come up with this quote, but I was watching a documentary. I was just watching a bunch of Beavis and Butthead stuff recently on my phone, and there's a documentary about Beavis and Butthead, and Mike Judge says, Beavis and Butthead are kind of like a warning to parents. Like, make sure you raise your kids well, or they could end up like this. I thought that was great. Like, it's not just a dumb comedy. It really is like, like reflecting back America. There's a lot of 24-hour McDonald's. Problem is, for one thing, their fucking website is not accurate about which one's 24 hours. It'll say 24 hours, but it turns out it's only the drive-through. Second, I think there's only, like, maybe one. Somebody said there's one in Vienna that's really nice. And I can believe that because Vienna's a fucking rich area. I used to shoot videos around there. And I might go there, but it's far away. And I can believe they have electrical outlets out there. All right, thanks, Cobra Kai. You guys need a Wawa and Nova? That's funny. Yeah, I've been to Wawa, but only when you travel around the country. We don't really have them around here. We have, like, what's it called? Like On the Run or something, which is kind of similar. It's like a gas station / convenience store. Wow, thanks, Cobra Kai. Hey, that's really nice of you. I appreciate it. I don't know why you're doing all that for me, but look, don't send more, because my problem is I think I'm just not looking for a place to live right now. I really think I am. My issue is looking for a job. I'm just miserable and tired of my job. What do you mean On the Run is mobile? Get the heat on. It's really not that cold though. No, I'm not. I don't ever want to work in politics, anything like that. I don't have the patience, the mind for it. It's not what I want to do. I'd prefer to just, keep doing what I'm doing. That's all. I want to do more film stuff, which is why I want to apply to this job that I'm looking at, and get involved in some other video production around here. Just having access to equipment and facilities. Yeah, it was nice out. A lot of snow melted after it was freezing and windy last week. But I really can't tolerate going to where I seriously almost wanted to just walk out of my job last weekend, and nothing was happening. I was just standing there realizing, like, I'm getting older. I feel like I'm getting stupider. And, like, I'm watching everybody else have a good time, but I can't have a good time. And I couldn't have a good time there because it's not my kind of environment. I realize I just don't like that. I don't hate bars necessarily, but I have an instinct in me that lets me know, like, when I feel I'm wasting time, when something's not working for me, and bars just not for me generally. I like to just keep moving. Other people, they can enjoy it day after day. We have people who go there almost every day. I could never be like that. I gotta work. I mean, like, I have to. It's, something I need to do. Not good. My mom still hasn't called me. It's already almost 8 o'clock. For all I know, it'll be another hour before she gets back home. And that is not much time at all. But I've got to treat it like it's all the time I need. Ugh. Try not to be poor if you can help it. Not easy advice, because a lot of that you don't have control over. You don't have control over how you're raised. The community you're grown up in. You know? All kinds of things. If you have an illness. But, you know, even if I knew in my mind when I was younger what to do, how to plan things out, I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull it off. I had so much ignorance. I had to totally undo who I was and change who I was. I grew up an arrogant conservative who just thought I knew everything. I had to completely change all that over the years, and it's still always something I'm working through and undoing. So in a way, you know, I wouldn't change anything, because even all the it's unthinkable to think who I was before, the kind of person I was. Not that I was necessarily horrible to be around. I could be a pain in the ass to be around, or I had been. And just, you know, unpleasant, selfish, and being a conservative, I thought I knew everything, and I thought, you know, I had a lot of racist ideas. I mean, I was racist. I was not the capital W white supremacist, but conservatives like myself at the time, being one, believe in racist ideas. We just give it an, you know, air of respectability, and it's because I was in this conservative bubble where I didn't know any better. I don't even like remembering it, because I'm like, I don't want to remember what it's like to be that. No, I can't do that with my car. I can't be a Lyft driver. I wouldn't want to. Doesn't pay enough. And my car's too old, and I just don't want to deliver people's food. Fuck that. I deal with people like that enough at my job who come by, want to order food, or restaurants I go to where they come by and they're like, oh, sorry, we didn't get an order or something. Or they ordered from the dinner menu. We're off the dinner menu now. It's too late, and the website didn't say anything. I don't want to deal with all that. For what? A few extra bucks? Not worth it. Oh, Danny B, I don't know. Good question. I don't expect everybody to go homeless like me. You know, if you can stay in a home, I say go ahead and try and stay in a home. I was determined not to give money to a landlord and to live with roommates. And I'm glad I've kept up on that. But other thing, you know, support movements, support causes for immigrants, for working people, for black people. Educate yourself, you know, question what you know. Because we're taught to hate poor people, and to hate non-white people, and to hate women. So, you know, unlearn those things that we're taught as like a given. The images we're presented of, you know, rich, white, powerful men and politicians meeting in suits, speaking in civil tones, and then the images they show of poor non-white people, you know, in housing projects or yelling in the street. And they show that they don't have to say anything else. It's a racist juxtaposition that they believe in, and that rich politicians and corporate executives and, you know, top military people want us to keep believing. And so they can say, look at these people. They're unhinged. Protesters. They just hate the president. They want to undermine the president. Hello, Kool-Aid. "21 people here. Thanks for joining. Click the like button, everybody. It helps get this video, you know, referred to people on YouTube, a recommended video. Been going about an hour here. Fortunately, my phone's charging now. This phone is starting to die, but it's actually charging better now. When I updated the apps, I hadn't updated them in a while, but the volume buttons are broken now. So I got to go into the settings, and whenever I want to change the volume. So on the topic of, or on, yeah, the name of the video, the topic, you know, Annandale or homelessness. Thinking I can't go back to Annandale. I'll hate it. I'll be spending a bunch of money just for a slight a slight convenience. Like a day like today, I'd be able to at least have my laptop at home and work on it. But you know, I'd almost rather deal with whatever frustration happens while homeless than have to pay a fucking landlord and be stuck tied to a home because I'm spending so much money on it. So I would be avoiding spending money out by like even going to McDonald's and working on my laptop there. A lot of people do that, and or going to a cafe, whatever. All these little expenses, because it's like, well, what's the point? I got to save money to be in my home, but I could live the rest of my life that way and grow old and never get anywhere doing that. It's horrible. So I'd almost just rather be homeless and come what may. If somebody plows into my car and destroys it, at least I'll have a good video out of it. Hopefully I wouldn't get hurt, you know, or I wouldn't be in it. I forgot I got pears here. Let's see if these are even still good. I let so many apples go, or bananas go bad. This is soft and mushy. Oh, way too soft. Might taste good, but I don't trust it. Ooh. This one's alright. I've let so many bananas go bad by being in the trunk of my car, stuck in the bag, and it's like they go rotten before they even go ripe. Like, they just turn from green to brown. I'm like, shit. So I got a bunch in there now I gotta throw away. But I think I'd rather be doing this than living in fucking Annandale. These are good pears. So that leaves me with the choice of looking for new jobs and applying, because I hate my job. Another car. This Mercedes desperately needs their lights cleaned up. Oh. I've been leaving my YouTube cards out a lot at cafes, and I'm pretty sure they've been taken by people. I don't think they're necessarily getting thrown away. If you haven't seen them, I made videos about these before because I used to mail them out to fans to give away. But I have these cards, and I'm going to order more of them when I run out. You can't really see it. See my mom there? Yeah, what the hell? And then here you got the link, the website link. My mom freaking out looking at Dr. Wareheim and the QR code scan. I've been leaving these in a lot of cafes and restaurants. Oh shit. And sometimes I'll go back. I'll always leave two. So I'll leave one with one side up, one with the other side up. And I bought a bunch of like push pins to be able to put them into like the cork boards, and even tape, because some it's like a solid black surface that you can't really put a pin in. So I'll tape them up there. And well, they've been gone when I come back, so hopefully people are taking them. And what I liked, one sign that they're not just being thrown away by employees. I went to somewhere, some cafe yesterday, where I had left two, I think the day before. I came back, there was only one left. So I'm like, okay, I hope somebody took one. And if you're one of those people, you should comment and say, hey, I found this card at this cafe. Yeah, home is a good investment. You gotta be rich to get that. I'm sure antique furniture is a good investment too. You gotta be rich to get that. Something else I kind of hate about my job, I hate the fantasy of where I am. Like the fantasy of people just being at a bar, having fun, like there's something great happening, and it's like an illusion. It presents an illusion that's not real. I don't hate these people for it. I don't have anything against them. I just want to be out of there. I want to walk out the door. Danny, you thought about being homeless to see what it's like? That's what I thought about for a long time, so finally doing it. What do you do, Danny? Do you work? Hey, phone's charging. That's good to see. But I just can't stand the fantasy. It's not something I enjoy. It's not something I want to be around. And this weekend, it came close. I wasn't like seriously like close to thinking about walking out, but it's like as close as I've ever been. Not that I would do that, you know. I wouldn't, you know, do that to my coworkers and my boss, but it was like the closest I've ever wanted to just walk out of there. And what's really bad, and I have, you know, good techniques and stuff for trying to improve my mood, to feel better. I'm trying to engage them now. Thank goodness I have those. 10, 15 years ago, I had none of that. I didn't know what the hell to do. Just every day was just crushing for me. But, you know, I do have little things I can do, you know, things I've learned, but it's getting bad when I leave work and I don't feel better. It used to be I feel terrible at work and then leave and I feel better. I feel like a knife is in me right now. Vanilla die. Jim, oh wait, Jim said that Jim saw that he said that he saw that Jim said that Jim saw that he saw that Jim said that he saw. There was a dream and children were there and they were crying. I see where you're going. Spend money to make money. Can't make it if you don't have it. Yep. Vanilla die. Never get tired of that Lori Baker quote. They had a 2-hour documentary about Jim and Tammy Faye Baker on 2020 the other night. I wish I could see that. But I know it's time. Look for another job and keep doing what I'm doing. Don't give up. You know, I think now about things I've been through. Piss poor, homeless. I've been sick for like 3.5 years of my adult life. Depressed a lot of the rest of it. And just troubled, just very troubled. And trying to work through, you know, what I am and undo a lot of what I was and, you know, just change who I am. I used to struggle with that so much. You know, just try and be a person that could be around others. You're 18 and have no job, graduate high school in May. Oh, cool. No, I'm not doing Lyft or Uber. I can't. I can't and won't. They don't make enough money, and my car is too old. And also, I don't have room in my car. This area is flooded with rideshare drivers. And you need to pick up a lot of people to get paid decently. I wouldn't do it. No, thank you. Another car, terrible headlights. We need public service announcements about rubbing compound. I'm going to try and make one sometime because we really need them. There's no reason people should drive around with foggy headlights. I did it for a long time. You think it's going to be a pain in the ass to clean your headlights, you buy those fucking expensive headlight cleaning kits from car stores like Advanced Auto Parts that are a pain to use. You can only use them a few times before they're all worn out. Get rubbing compound. All you need is like a towel or those blue paper towels that are strong for cars. Just rub those on there. Simple as that. You don't even need to rinse them off afterwards. Clean it beforehand, dry them, and then just rub the rubbing compound on there. It's like $6. Don't replace your headlights. Another one, Mercedes. Foggy headlights. Turn and buy now. That's a beautiful looking Mercedes. Or a Volvo. And the lights are all foggy. Pickup truck behind me. You can't really see it. No, it's a SUV. Foggy headlights. Oh God, my phone feels hot. Cool off my phone. I don't know if I'm getting my laptop tonight. Damn it! I have to cool off my phone here. You all know the trick I use. Turn on the air conditioning, blow it on my phone. No, I haven't applied for government aid. Thanks, Annie. I appreciate it. I'm not giving up. Don't get me wrong. I truly hate my job. I don't hate it like in the way I've hated jobs before. It's just, I hate it in the way I hated my room that I lived in. I hate that I'm not like able to do anything with it. I'm not able to be myself. It's just a huge, suck on my time. I have learned from it. Being a bouncer is good, like especially for being a director, any kind of leader, like knowing how to approach people, how to be friendly but firm, because It's easy to just, come up to somebody and make them feel like you're hassling them. So, how to be friendly with someone, how to let them know what you need them to do, and just to not have fear about it. And that's a good skill for a director, certainly, But I just don't want to do it. I was feeling so terrible last weekend working there. I was like, I can't do that. My stomach sinks down when I think about going back there this week, and how much time has gotten away from me today already, from sleeping late, from being sick. I may as well apply my foot fungus stuff on my face now. But if your car is too old, then that's a deal breaker, right? You make $300 a night, Vanilla Die, for Lyft? Where do you live? Because around here, I guess it's possible to do that, but there are a lot of Uber and Lyft drivers, my understanding, who, for them, it's like their second job. And also, we have a ton of them around here. Cobra Kai, the statistics are horrible for people who are homeless that long. Yeah, I imagine it is. Because, that's when you start... A lot of people end up homeless the rest of their lives. What's this about Virginia homeless plan? I don't know anything about it. I don't... Really, I've looked at some stuff like online about that too. And again, my brain seen anything with like forms and paperwork, it's like Beavis and Butthead. I'm like, can you shut up? Like, that's all I am. It's just like, can you stop this? If this means I get into a home, I don't need a home. Just put paperwork away. I'm not doing paperwork. I don't understand what's going on. Apparently, Cobra Kai, you told me about taxes, and there's a standard deduction of like $12,000 now. I didn't know what the fuck that meant. So I don't know if I even put down that I should get the standard deduction. So I don't know if I didn't. If you want me to fill out my taxes properly, make it so a person of average intelligence can fill them out. Not like I need 8 years of accounting and tax law to be able to understand. So I don't know if I did. Maybe I'm owed more of a refund than I'll get. I don't know. The IRS can look it up in 10 years from now when they're, if they ever get around to it and say, oh, we owe you money. Okay, here's a 3 cents interest on it on top of that. Since we neglected to pay. I don't know what the hell to do. I do not look at paperwork. Hey, K-Dubs World. Yeah, thanks for joining me here. Vanilla Die. Wait, you passed that red light that I talked about? Wait a minute, where do you do ride sharing, Vanilla Die? Do you live around here? Also, I want to see if we can get people in Annandale to watch this video. So if, oh, now my phone's losing the charge again. I don't know how that works. But if you can tweet this video out or something, hashtag with Annandale, say like, let's get the people of Annandale watching. Because what I've decided over the last hour or so is I will not move back there. I would rather be homeless. Even though I'm kind of hating it right now, going through a slump, or, a few bad turns, whatever, really frustrated, things are adding up, it's like I can't think clearly, I'm truly hating my job, but even if I got like a $400 room that I was looking at, this is a foot fungus stuff for my rash, that I think it's going away again, after it made a reappearance. If I even got, okay, maybe a $430 room or so, that would be, what, wait, 30 times, 10, 12... Yeah, about $5,000 a year. It's not even worth it to me. That, when I think of it like that, no question. I'd rather be homeless and save that $5,000. I just gotta not give up. Heat not shaving. That car needs little Acura or Honda. It needs headlights restoring too. I should just walk around in this parking lot and just restore people's headlights. I'm convinced somebody would call the cops on me for it, and I understand why they would. Actually, that seems really, really creepy to do that to somebody, because you'd immediately think like, what the fuck do you want? Be like, no, nothing. I'm just coming by and polishing your headlights. What I should do is walk around with a sign saying like, I'll polish your headlights for free, or just, you know, pay what you can. That's all. But I know they'd kick me out of the parking lot if I did that. I would have to do it on the side of the road and people could pull over. Let me do it. Thanks, Cobra Kai. Anything with forums, I don't do. But don't send me any more rooms, because it's enough for me to look at. If there's nothing that interests me about whatever you sent me, I'm probably not going to be interested in anything else, because I doubt I'm moving into a room. Thought about it. That's why I made the live stream. But I really think, man, we need public service announcements for, I'm going to do that for rubbing compound. This should be a top priority for our country. How many, whoa, that sounded like I was singing. How many millions of dollars are wasted in headlight restoration kits and replacing headlights and failed safety inspection on cars because the headlights are too foggy? So get some rubbing compound. I made the video about it. You can look back a few months ago and look up how to restore your headlights. Super simple. So I got to keep putting that into shows. Use rubbing compound. That's literally what it's called. You can get it at Home Depot. You might be able to get it at auto parts stores. It's like $6. Take a little out with a blue paper towel that's meant for cars. Make sure your headlights are clean first. Wipe it on there. That's it. You wipe it on. Just rub it in circles. You don't have to do anything to strip it off. Nothing. It's clean. If it's not clean after that, then you can get like a sandpaper, and that's what my the mad scientist in the video, he said, get some sandpaper, go from thick, I think, to fine, and scrape it down. You can get that at Home Depot too, but in my case, it wasn't necessary. We got to get the word out on this. You live in Rockville. Oh, okay. I used to work in Rockville a lot. You and Cobra need to call. Yeah, if I'm gonna try, I loathe the idea of any kind of. I have this syndrome that my mom has too about this stuff, which is any little task I embark on, it's gonna end up taking 3 hours, no matter what. And I fear it's gonna take me 3 hours. That's why I didn't want to call or what the fuck am I saying? Go to a store to get a prepaid cell phone or whatever I need to do, and then get Skype on there, and so people can call in. I'm like, I'm just sure they're gonna have me on the on the phone. I want people on the phone. Have me in the store filling out paperwork or whatever. I've never done it before. Anyways, it just seems like a hassle. You live in Rockville, cool. I used to shoot videos in Rockville. The Angelo's Mom's Cooking Tips was shot at a studio in Rockville that's closed now. Oh, thanks, Cammie. I appreciate that. Thanks, Catherine. Yeah, it's pretty warm now. It's not bad, and I have my sleeping bag, so that's not an issue staying warm. I sleep very well in that. I'm very comfortable in my sleeping bag. The problem is really when it gets warm during the day, and then my car heats up inside because of the sun hitting it, and then I start sweating in the sleeping bag, and I can't sleep well because I always go to bed real late. My mom still hasn't called me. This is not boding well for, I don't think I'm getting the laptop out tonight, applying to any job, none of that. It's disappointing, but what I can do is just go to, and cafes are closing, most cafes are closing soon, go to McDonald's, find one that's open till like midnight, just go there and write. I wrote a lot in only like 10 minutes last night. I wrote nonstop about another short film I want to do, because I keep needing to figure out what short film I can shoot that's just 2 people, so I keep the budget way down. I tried writing one, and then it's like one scene leads to another that's bigger, leads to another with more people, leads to another with another location. And I'm like, shit. It's just spiraled out of control. I cannot shoot. I want something I can shoot while I am still homeless. So very simple, 2 people. So I'm going to take another go at it and just write and write and write and study my Spanish. Unfortunately, my Spanish is getting fairly good. And I think that's all I'm going to be able to do tonight. I worked out my legs real hard today. But yeah, I do want to have a call-in show. I think that would be pretty fun. Hey, my phone's charging again. That's cool. YouTube is still glitching out. I have no idea how many likes I have because it just says 0, but click the like button, everybody. That helps get YouTube to promote these videos, put them in people's related or suggested videos list, so gets more viewers here, helps me out. Let's get some people in Annandale watching. We got some other people local around here watching, but let's get Annandale citizens watching. I want people in Annandale right now to start watching this video. So go ahead and tweet it out or send it on Facebook or find some person who's posted about living in Annandale on Twitter or Facebook and say, hey, a guy's broadcasting about it. He might want to move back in there. His video is famous for talking about Annandale. So, you know, go watch it. You're going to want to watch this. Like Joseph A. Bank, you're going to like the way you look. You're going to like this video. How would I say that in Spanish? Te gustará este video. Yeah, te gustará este video. You're going to like this video. Another car with horribly dim headlights. This time an old, ugly van. Thanks, Cammy. Caribbean. I've never been there. I've barely been on vacation in my life, or at least as an adult. Vacation for me was going to the mountains on Christmas. That's it. I think I am not getting this laptop out tonight. My mom is not getting back to me in time. This is bad. Might go by anyways for something else, but not this. Alright, thanks Danny. Thanks for watching. 19 people here, cool. What do you want to know? What did y'all miss out on? I used to live in Annandale. That's why I'm talking about possibly going back there, because it's like the cheapest place around here. I'm homeless, been homeless for 3 months, but I don't think I want to move back to Annandale. I sort of thought about it, but there's just this part of me that's like, I can't give up now. Because being homeless is important to me. I'm saving money, and I hate landlords, and I hate sinking money into a place where I'll be tied down to it because I can't afford to go out as much. Not that I'm really going out to do things now, but it's like I have it in my head. If I'm spending money on a room, it's like, well, I got to be making money. Got to keep making money. Got to keep working on videos. I got to keep planning videos. At least now, like, I'm doing all that, but it's just happening. I'm not, like, there's nothing, I don't know, there's nothing else I can do. And fortunately, I'm not spending hundreds of dollars a month on a room. Annandale has some of the cheapest rooms in the whole DC area. I found some between $400 and $500, but even that, it's going to be about $5,000 a year. So I'm like, well, why would I spend all that if I'm piss poor already and I'm struggling to get by, even being homeless? At least I'm paying down my credit card little by little. $8.20. So I'm gonna have to, get to a McDonald's. That's my best bet. Excuse me. And I need to get some water too. Hands all greasy. Where the hell did I put that? Oh, here. That moist wipe I had. Barely ate today, but that's by design because I ate too much yesterday at the buffet. I don't even enjoy eating stuff. Like eating nice food means nothing to me. I truly don't care. I don't care about nicely made stuff. I don't understand why people consider themselves like foodies. I couldn't do the air quotes back here, but like, well, I don't get any particular pleasure out of it. It means nothing to me. Like, it may as well all be cardboard. I just don't care. So sometimes I just feel like walking away from my car too, but there's nowhere I know there's nowhere to escape to. There's nothing I'm gonna do like benefit myself by just trying to escape. I'm going to go in the grocery store. I might pause the live stream while I'm in the grocery store. You can leave or stay, whatever you want, because I want to go get some water and then head over to McDonald's. That's where I'll spend my night. Because my plan was to get the laptop tonight, edit video, apply for a job, but my mom hasn't got back to me. She's out somewhere. She can't get back to the house yet. And that's another complication about being homeless. She may call me later tonight, and then I may have to go by for something else anyways. Try and save money when you can, when you're young, if it's possible. Not everyone can. Not everyone has a house they can stay in. Not everybody can just get to work. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk up here. And I want to see if there's music playing when I go inside. I don't want music on the video, even though I don't think it's going to affect anything. But I'll pause the live stream, and then, ow, man, hurting a little bit. Get water, and then I'll resume the live stream. Coming out of here, going to McDonald's. Ugh. Then I'm just going to go in there and work. Right. Children live in Belgium now. Yeah. Appreciate it. it doesn't matter. The prices can be as low as they'll get in this area. They're still not cheap enough for me. Okay, I'm going to stop the live stream. I'm just going to pause it, so it's going to resume in 3 or 4 minutes or so. I'm going to get. Okay, so not really an issue to film in here. Oh, nice looking food. This looks nice. Well, I'm not going to eat junk food now. I really like these stuff like this, soft pretzels. What's... oh, salt. Oh, well. That way with food and other carry around as well. So that's it. That's all I need to get. Not worried about anything else. And all right, back. I had to stop to pay. But I get a thrill from watching movies. Good movies. That makes me high practically. I can be like high and affected by a movie for days. So I'm not sure it's necessarily the dopamine and everything, or it's just, some people just wired differently. I don't enjoy music either. I don't like it. It's like noise in my head. That's another thing I don't like in my job. I would prefer to be quiet. Gonna go to McDonald's now. Shit. Fuck. Ah, damn it. I'm trying to pull this. There. Alright. Welcome back. People are joining me again after I stepped in the grocery store. And whistling. I do absolutely hate whistling. Don't you ever fucking whistle around me. That just tells me you're a lowlife. Oh, that looks bad. No fear of the law. My unemployed roommate, my other roommate's boyfriend, he would whistle in the house, and that naked man in the gym was whistling. So that's like, 2 strikes right there. I also got a protein bar. Where do I get one of those jobs, like in movies, where it's like a guy works in a bowling alley, or in this movie Chinese Puzzle, I think he lived above a Chinese restaurant? I'm not sure. I don't remember. This French movie, it was great. And it's like they work at a place, and there's a tiny little storage room above the business that they sleep in. Where do I get a job like that? The person sleeping above the movie theater, or above the bowling alley, or above the Chinese restaurant. Where do I get housing like that? Free. I want it free, people. Cobra Kai, how would I search for that? Because I have no idea where to look. That wouldn't be on Craigslist. You know, work at this place and you get a free place to sleep. There was one I saw, but I don't qualify for it. If you work at the Wolf Trap Theater in Vienna, they're like wait, it was like an opera program, or no, like costume seamstress. You know, you work on learning how to make costumes. You get free housing at George Mason University. Probably going to have roommates. So for that reason, I bet I would just, if I did that, I would just sleep in my car. Like if you had bunk beds, I would sleep in my car. Or a lot of college campuses, you have 2 beds, 1 room. Fuck that. I would sleep in my car and then just shower in the house. I'm going to McDonald's now. Frustrated by my mom not getting back to me, but not letting that stop me now. Go to a McDonald's that's open till midnight so I can just sit there. And this McDonald's fucking beautiful because it's mostly deserted at night. It's kind of off this stretch of the highway that people don't walk through at night. The businesses next to it are all closed down. So that's really nice. Just go there and relax. Being at the buffet yesterday, I didn't even want to stay there long also because I was fucking grossed out. I was grossed out at myself and all the people there. Like, I just can't stand lots of eating around me and lots of food and it just grosses me out. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta leave. I was grossed out that my jacket's all fucking worn out, that I didn't shave, so I just couldn't tolerate it. I was like, oh, this grosses me out. $20 for a buffet. That's alright, not gonna beat myself up over that. Should I turn the light on? Yeah, good. I'll leave it on. Find a new job. It's like, you know, my body's telling me like you don't want to be here, you need to go, and I'm making myself go every day that I'm there. I don't work every day. I've had good experiences at my job, you know, met people there, made money. But, I don't know. I don't know what to think. If I'm getting older or what. Like, it's just not the same for me. I feel trapped, and it gets me so negative. Like, I almost get panicked. Like, nobody's ever going to let me make a movie. Nobody's ever going to... I know that's not true, but, like, I'm never going to be able to do anything that I want. I'm going to be trapped. I'm going to be shunned. And one of my biggest fears, by the way, is being in a conversation with someone I don't want to be talking to, or, you know, someone who doesn't know how to carry a conversation. I hate it. It like gets in my head. I feel like it's an assault on me. And so a lot of times I just don't want to talk to anybody, partly for that reason. Like, I don't want to fucking be trapped with someone, you know, uncharismatic, who's looking like, yeah, yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, your name's Alonzo, right? Oh, Angelo? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sounded like Moist Andy there. I do not include him in that. He is an expert conversationalist. I'm doing this for you guys, for your entertainment. Also for me, but man, just being homeless is hard. You can work, and I saw my W-2. I made $20,000 last year. I had no idea. I thought I made closer to like 13 or 14,000, something like that. I did the math totally wrong. And somehow I am still flat broke. And having to constantly decide, you know, not to go out, not to do anything. I don't understand what's the point of living around here. It's so expensive. Ten people here. All right, we had a little dip, but then we got a little surge. I like this area that I'm in, especially at night when it's not busy, Fairfax. Because it is beautiful. It's just fucking crowded during the day. Alexandria, I don't like it any time of the day. It's absolutely miserable. Getting too depressed and too angry over every little thing lately, and that's not good, you know. I keep it to myself, but it's not good. I know that a lot of that is just from being at my job, not liking it. I was standing outside the barber shop today before I got a haircut, and I saw a guy go in, and I was mad. I was like, what the fuck's he going in there for? And then I went in. Like, damn it, that's messed up. Like, how can I relate to others if I'm thinking like that? This car in front of me is going so slow now. I don't even care. I used to meet a friend out here in this area a lot, and he's rich. He's just also very strange guy, very avoidant. What the hell? This car behind me is tailgating me so badly, this pickup truck, but the fucking car in front of me is so slow, so I can't, like, exactly just gun it. I can never really get in the right lane to go around this car because cars keep passing me on the right. Use your turn signals. It's another thing people don't do enough of. I bet I can get a lot of writing done tonight. I bet I'll just write nonstop. I'm going to make myself just write, even if the ideas are terrible. So that's okay. And I've got a new idea. I had a new idea, an image come to me while I was out at the trunk of my car today and hearing the sounds I was and seeing the image, the light coming a certain way. I'm like, this is a new movie idea, a short film that I could do, and I think it'd be a lot easier for me to write because I was struggling with another one. And then just get some people to do it. Because I got the money now. I'm homeless. I don't have to spend money on rent, so I can spend it on actors. How do people want to work and live around here? I cannot understand it. Too hastily. Favorite McDonald's because it's always fucking dead in here. "13 people, cool." So some people joined us after a little break, and I couldn't check comments. So what do people say here? Maybe I can check in some churches for help. You know what's terrible? There's one church around here called the Lamb Center. I read an article where they talk about how they used to let homeless people sleep in their parking lot in their cars, and they offer a lot of help to homeless people. I should go back there. I tried going once, but they close at like 3 in the afternoon. I'm like, fuck, man. Everything I do is like after 5 o'clock at night because I sleep so late. But I went there and I messaged them too. I said, hey, can people still sleep in your parking lot? It's a tiny little parking lot, real small, on this tiny little dead-end street, and all businesses there. There's like no traffic. It's just all people going to these businesses. And they said, sorry, because of county regulations, we can no longer allow people to do that. So that shows how senseless and selfish and arrogant people are around here. Like, we're willing to make homeless people by making it incredibly expensive to live around here, and jobs don't pay enough, and people have to commute farther and farther and get 2 or 3 jobs just to get by. Oh, but we don't want to see those homeless people around here. They're a blight. Get away, you homeless person. You should have planned on being richer like me. So you can't sleep in the parking lot there anymore. And a lot of these people who are rich, they haven't dealt with what homeless people have been through that led to them being homeless. A lot of them, it's like generational, the wealth in their family, and generational, the benefit, like white privilege of having schools that, have enough teachers for their students and have enough job opportunities and don't face job discrimination and don't face police brutality. And, they get better access to medical care it, excuse me, like, you know, if they're sick, they get better treatment. Anyways, it's just awful. What do people say here? Second story of a mansion? Oh, interesting. He lives there for free. Manager jobs at self-storage? I wouldn't live there. It's illegal, I think. Wait a minute, really? What? They have someone living on site for security at night? I've never heard of that. Oh, apartment. Oh, I see. Okay, I'll think about that. I'll try and apply to something like that. Hey, Vanilla Die. How's it going? Been going for 2 hours now. And I just pulled up to McDonald's. I'm going to start writing. I'm going to write and not even think about it. I'm just going to keep writing without stopping. I thought my mom would get back to me. She hasn't. She may get back to me later tonight, in which case I may still have to go by, which is going to be kind of a pain, but I need to do it. I need to get something done there. And won't have my laptop tonight, though. So I'm just going to write and study Spanish. So I'm going to get this going soon. I can be on here. I'm enjoying talking to everybody. Yeah, Governor of Virginia, he is a fucking disgrace. Northam, that ass. Oh my goodness, that just pisses me off. It's just how selfish he can be. How racist he is. He still is. He's not all reformed. All he did was power down since the time he was in blackface, because he admitted he was in blackface at least one time. Since the time he was in blackface to now, all he did was power down from like a level 9 racist to a level 8. That's it. Like, he's no longer in blackface. He still has racist policies. He ran on racism. He can act like, no, that was different. But you saw he was still like laughing it up when somebody asked him to do the moonwalk. I don't even like thinking about it. It's so pathetic and shameless. Wow, now we got more people here. I was about to leave, but I don't know if I'll leave just yet, because we got a good thing going here, and I do want to please my audience. So, yeah, just shameless. I don't even like think about it. What's there to say? It's so pathetic. It's also pathetic how Republicans are trying to seize on it like they ever give a damn about racism. Like, you can be racist all you want. Steve Scalise said he's David Duke without the baggage. Oh, but if you... And here's the other irony. The reason things like blackface and Ku Klux Klan outfits are so shocking and offensive is because of the work that people that Republicans have hated for decades. Civil rights activists, community activists, community leaders, people like Martin Luther King, who worked to make racism stigmatized in society. That's the only reason it's so shocking now to see. Because of people who worked against the efforts of Republicans. And now Republicans want to reap the benefit of that for their own political gain. They don't give a damn about racism. Come on, how much of a joke is it? The idea that they're the party of Donald Trump, of who's endorsed by David Duke, of Steve King, who asked, what's wrong with, why did white nationalism and white supremacy become bad words? Steve Scalise, who the hell else? Cindy Hyde Brown, I think she ran. She said, we're going to have if there was a public lynching, I would go. And the party stood behind her. Yeah, he's obviously power hungry. And I don't know if he even realizes what he did was truly wrong. And he talks about how he wanted to help people as a doctor. But see, that shows he doesn't get it. Because he's not talking about specifically addressing racial problems and problems with our treatment of black people in this country, and how we try and concentrate them in the poor neighborhoods. I've gone on a bunch of times about it. I won't repeat it all, but he just talks about these vague colorblind platitudes about helping people. That shows you he really hasn't learned, other than he's just willing to stop doing the racist slurs like his nickname, and you saw in his yearbook. I won't repeat it. And the racist outfits. Yeah, Republicans don't give a damn one bit. They're not acting in good faith at all. Democrats are absolutely calling for Northam to step down, which he should step down. He cannot govern like this. And in addition to the fact that he was always racist, the fact that now he comes out as like a mega racist, it's like, well, that's where a lot of these white guys come from. We got to think more, and it's amazing how Republicans, the double standard again with Kavanaugh and with Northam, the difference in, now granted Kavanaugh was younger, but that's as far as I go with that. I'm not defending what he did at all, and the lying and the intimidation of Christine Blasey Ford. But you see the difference in how they treat. If it's a Republican, they instantly know how to run to their defense. It's a Democrat. Oh, then they know how to use the hard work that people that Republicans hate have done to stigmatize racism and to say, look, he's racist. They use that stigma just for their political gain. They don't give a damn about racist policies. They don't give a damn about destroying the lives of black people. They hate Colin Kaepernick. They hate Black Lives Matter activists today. All they act like is and they act like basically racism is a nothing. It's nothing to deal with. There's no issue to deal with at all. And it's like, well, we just got to be nice to people, and that's going to end racism. And they don't even go that far, because then they absolutely believe in controlling black people and brown people, controlling their bodies, controlling women's bodies. Mark Levin was going on this like Taliban-like rant about how the media ignores abortion, similar to how they ignored, he said, the Holocaust and slavery. So that's what Mark Levin compares abortion to. He doesn't give a single fuck about children in this country, about black children, about poor children, anything, about immigrant children. He screamed about immigrants. He's like, why are they called dreamers? What about American kids? Aren't they dreamers? So he hates foreigners. He hates immigrants. But then all of a sudden, the only words he has ostensibly to defend life, that is not what abortion is about, is when he'll try and demand the control of women's bodies by drawing comparisons to genocide. It's just pathetic. It's so shameful. These guys, something is wrong with conservatives. Something is wrong with how they think. And I used to be a conservative. I get it. I know their mentality. I know their mindset. I used to be anti-abortion too. It took me years to sort of get out of that mentality because the brainwashing was so strong. Even for years when I was an atheist and I wasn't sure what I should think about it, because there was a strong part of me that wanted to say abortion's fine, don't worry. But I had been so brought up to believe the lies that essentially women's bodies belong to men. And, they didn't teach it like that. It's not like I would ever say that. Like, I didn't believe that. But that's fundamentally what it comes down to, is making laws to control women's bodies. Yeah, good question, Cobra Kai. How the hell did that college think that was okay to do? What the fuck was going on there? And this college, it was a medical school, was producing doctors. So that tells you a lot about this country. And the supposed people who don't like identity politics, the Republicans, they're all about identity politics because they like to pretend racism's been done away with in this country. But look at the policies we've had that absolutely benefit rich white men at the expense of everybody else, of poor people of color and women. These people, it's like affirmative action for white men when they can get away with this heinous, hateful behavior, mocking black people, putting on blackface and a Klan robe. And they're going through medical school. But do you think of anything analogous? Like, I don't know what's in that, but if you think they would let go a fraction, like a behavior that was a fraction as objectionable to a black doctor, who was in politics now, and a Democrat, say if the doctor, I don't know, he was photographed, at a party and just looks suspicious,
or something. It looks kind of like this guy didn't like the government. He was anti-establishment. You'd think they'd let that guy, they would talk about how that guy's parents screwed him up, how the pathology of Democrats gets people to grow up thinking like this. Oh, this guy is anti-cop or whatever. That's a sickness to them. But white guys can just go right through medical school doing putting on costumes to make like that are out of the slavery era. Yeah, anyway, I could go on all day about it. I don't even want to keep getting amped up about it because I keep ranting about it and then it fucking makes me angry. I gotta stop. I'm gonna get going. It's 9 o'clock. Now my work day is starting with my writing here. You can see this is just what I wrote in like 10 minutes yesterday, so hey, good for me. Wait, did I write that? No, that's not the page I wrote. I wrote more than that yesterday. These are video ideas. Yeah, so here I'll give you a quick look. This is what I wrote in like 10 minutes yesterday. There you go. And I'm going to write something else tonight. Yeah, tribalism, absolutely. I get it. I used to be a conservative. So that means I was racist. I bought into these white supremacist myths. And it's always something, you know, like it's because it's something we're totally brought up in and inculcated in. It's always something I try, you know, free myself of and be aware of. And because there's all these little blind spots about, you know, the privilege I have as basically a white guy, even though, you know, I'm not like, I look a little dark. But like it's always, but I know that mentality. I was that person. It's just that I could not maintain that. I made a video, look it up. I made a video called How I Stopped Being a Conservative. And even that only gets into like half of it. A big half, I forgot to mention because there was so much to cover in the video. A big part of what pushed me away from it was seeing Gamergate and the vile racism that came out of, you know, emerged from the conservative side that mutated and was always sort of there, but it just amped up more and more the extreme conservatism. And seeing that, I didn't even have to look at anything from the feminist or leftist side. I was like, that's not correct. Just their own arguments do not hold up. This is clearly a reactionary, angry movement, and it morphed into something that ended up getting Trump elected. Yeah, they think change is bad. Anyways, guys, I won't get into it all now. Thanks for watching, everybody. I got to get working. Got a lot to get done soon. Appreciate you watching. I've had a real downtime, you know, about my job, just hating my job, just realizing like I'm screaming to get out of it. And I'm not going to be able to apply to the job I want tonight or anything because I don't have my laptop. I really need it to apply properly. But I'm going to try and get on all that tomorrow. I want to get a lot done. I still think there's a lot of opportunities. Just it's hard for me to think clearly. And I really think I'm going to be homeless for some time to come. Who knows, at least another 3 months? I don't know. I got to make more money. There's no time to waste. Just getting older. Thanks, Lynx. Yeah, I'm really trying. I learned a lot of lessons that are, you know, it's like now is the time to test. Do those lessons work? About how to help myself, how to have clarity, you know, how to feel better, how to not just get stuck in a negative loop of thinking where it's like, well, nothing's ever going to work, nothing's going to change, so don't even try. You know, now's the time when that gets tested. So I'd still rather be homeless than living where I was just truly growing to hate my roommates every day. And hate, not necessarily hating them, but hating the fact that they were my roommates, like being around roommates. I hated it. I wanted to live on my own, but I was constantly broke. And I came to hate the indignity of paying a landlord. Like, why am I paying this person? Why do they control who lives here? When I'm paying out the ass, my rent there could have paid a mortgage in many parts of the country. So, got a lot of things I'm looking into. Keep trying to make more videos. Going to McDonald's now. So thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe for more videos. Keep sharing them. Look through the old ones. Share the funny ones.